This week I set 2 of my personal records for running. I've run the longest distance I've ever run and the most miles I've run in an entire week. This week had 2 45-minute runs, a 4-mile walk, a 10-mile walk, and a 23-mile run walk. That's close to 45 miles of running in 7 days. My previous record for running was between 21 and 22 miles. That's when I got swept at the Disney Marathon last year. I used that failure as motivation to come back this year and to run Dopey Challenge at the marathon weekend. That's running 48.6 miles across 4 days. This week's training was to simulate that weekend. And this is the closest I'll get to simulating it until race day. And I forgot to mention, it's abnormally hot down here in Florida. In the mornings, it's gonna be 90% plus humidity and in the 70s. While getting up into the 80s during the day. So this is gonna replicate last year's marathon weekend more than anything in the past. It's not gonna be easy, but I feel like if I can get through these 5 days, I can make it through the Dopey Challenge and marathon weekend. With all the people cheering and all the people running with you, there's far more adrenaline than there will be in my training runs. First run done, my longest run this week. It's only 45 minutes, about a 12-minute mile. I didn't push super hard because I know I have 33 miles this weekend. It is still really hard to get out of bed in the morning and run. If you're struggling with that, just get up and do it because I've never once run and came back and said, I wish I would have just stayed in bed. It always really sets my day off well. I always feel really good afterwards. All this is more mental for me than actually physical. Like 23 miles this weekend, I'm playing in my head thinking, should I push it off? But I shouldn't. Pushing it off is only gonna make it worse because I only have one more weekend besides this weekend to squeeze it in. And if something happens during that last week, I'm out of luck. I don't have another week to do it. Too close to race day. But the run was good. I can feel the flu going away. My lungs are getting better, back to normal. Hopefully by this weekend they're there. If not, I'll do the 23 miles and do what I can do. If you watch any of my old videos, you know it's hard for me to get up in the morning on Tuesdays. I did today, mainly because I'm off work, so I didn't have to wake up super early, but hey, I got myself a pat on the back for that one. Now it's time to go eat some breakfast and figure out what fun stuff to do while I'm off work. Happy Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving if you're in the US. Did my 45-minute run. It's gonna make me feel a little better about eating some turkey and mashed potatoes in a little bit. So 1 day done for the weekend. It's 4 days of running this weekend though, which is a little scary. 4 miles, 10 miles, 23 miles left. My pace wasn't great, a little over 12 minutes. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting better. Plus I'm trying not to exert myself too much because I know I still have a lot ahead of me. Trying to ease my way back into it. I've been sucking really bad at intermittent fasting, which probably impacts my run because I noticed huge energy differences when I was intermittent fasting and count my calories, which I haven't done this week. So sucks getting back into old routines. I gotta get back to it. I've almost completed 6 months of training, so almost there. It's a lot of dedication to get ready for Dopey Challenge, but I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna enjoy it at least till mile 15 probably. All right, time to start cooking the turkey. Go get a newspaper, look at the ads. I don't go on Black Friday often, but I like looking at the ads just in case there's something worth going out for. Enjoy some time with family. Grateful that I feel better and that I can even physically do this. There's a lot of people who can't. That's why I keep telling myself. So I have the ability to do it. I should take advantage of it. Time to go get ready to eat. Happy Black Friday, if you're in the US, that is, at least. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And if you're not in the US, hope you had a great Thursday. It's Friday, 4 days in a row running now this week. It's a lot, never done it before. A lot of the 2 of the days are walking, which is actually harder for me. I'm trying to walk at a 16-minute mile. Today I got 4 miles, so it's really foggy. Trying to get there by 4 miles, see if there's any good Black Friday deals I need for the kids or anything. The big ones tomorrow and Sunday, 10 miles and 23. Gotta walk faster, I'm a little slow right now. 4 miles done. Not even 8 a.m. yet. It's awesome. It's been super foggy. My glasses keep fogging up, but that's okay. The humidity's around 100%. It's gonna be 80 degrees today. So this is a real test of how I felt last year where it was so humid and hot. I didn't expect today to be too hard. It's hard for me to walk. I get bored walking. I need to find some sort of audiobook or something to listen to because tomorrow I got 10 miles. I was right around a 16-minute mile, but I actually had to run 2 minutes just to get that pace. It's not because normally I can walk fast enough. Tomorrow I gotta try to walk faster because I have to run for a lot longer than 10 miles to get my pace down. I have to keep another 16-minute mile. Disney's rule, otherwise I'll get swept again. But I have to do that while keeping enough energy to run the full marathon, which this week will be 23 miles. Everyone tells me if I can do 23, 26, the adrenaline will push me the rest of the way. We'll find out. All right, gonna go eat, see what kind of Christmas gifts I need to get. Saturday, the things are getting real. 10-mile walk, keeping at a 16-minute pace. It's actually much harder than it sounds. I'm having to walk pretty fast to stay up there. I'm hoping I don't have to run because I want to save the energy for tomorrow's run. 23 miles, it's only 6:30 in the morning. Pretty bright already, which is great for now. At night, I hate it because it gets dark so early, but for training, I love it. I don't have to wear a light or anything. A little nervous about the 23-mile run, but I'm confident I can do it. I realize when I'm on vacation, I don't sit around as much. So I have so much more steps than I normally do on top of the training runs. But the plan, kind of power walk, speed walk, stay at a 16-minute mile. If I start going too high, I'll run for a minute just to kind of get some time down. This week's training is the big prep for it because having to run 4 days in a row. It is a beautiful day though. It's a little humid, 93% humidity. It's gonna be 85 today and tomorrow. So tomorrow I gotta start super early so I'm not out in the 85. That's gonna replicate what I failed at last year at the marathon. So I'm truly gonna see how far I've come. I got much better equipment this time around. So I think with the 90% humidity and the 80 degrees, I think I'm good. But let's see. 10 miles is done. I'm a little sore. I think after I take my compression socks off, I'm gonna notice it a little more. I've been listening to Tim Tebow's new book as I've been walking. It's
actually really good. It really motivated me. As I sit here thinking of all the time I'm having to invest in this training, the real way I should be looking at it is thinking that I can do this. There's so many people who want to do this that can't. So I'm grateful that I can. My time's just under 16 minutes, right where I needed to be. Didn't have to run at all. All in all, a good walk. Go eat something. I'm gonna do my Epsom salt bath, do some stretches, and then go enjoy the rest of my day. Still a little nervous about 23 miles tomorrow, but I think I can do it. Even if I have to walk a lot of it, the goal tomorrow is gonna be to finish. And finish before it gets 86 degrees outside, otherwise it's gonna be brutal. All right, time to go soak and get ready for tomorrow. Here we are, time for the big show. A little sore from yesterday. Plan is to run 4 minutes per mile. A little nervous, longest I've ever run, but I can do it. It's not even 5 a.m. yet. It's supposed to be 86 degrees today. So I gotta get started before the heat gets too high. We can do this, we can do this. A little over 20 miles, finished. Plan did not go as expected. So it was me under a 14-minute mile. It was 25 with 90% humidity when I started. And I was sore for mile 1. Didn't really realize it until I started running. Now it's in the low 80s. And this is rough. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't in pain because my feet are killing me. But I gotta finish this. 3 miles to go. I can do it, just take one step at a time. Ooh, a breeze. That's nice. Feels good. Whew. All right. Do this.
I did complete a 23-mile run and it was in under a 16-minute mile. It was the hardest training I have ever done in my life. I kept telling myself 1 foot in front of the other, 1 mile by mile. The last 3 miles were excruciating, but I did it. And that's a huge accomplishment. It's the furthest I've ever run. One of the best parts to me though was that I had no blisters at the end. At marathon weekend, I had blisters all over my feet. I didn't have them. It was just surprising considering it was 90% humidity and 82 degrees by the time I was done. That's a great sign that my equipment is in line. And I feel so accomplished. I've never run this much in my entire life. I made it through it. I succeeded. I ran the 23 miles. I did all the runs up until now. I have such a huge sense of accomplishment. It is a great feeling. I'm still a little concerned about race day. It is a literal 2-mile walk to the start line. Running around people and other things on the course adds a few miles to the course. So it's gonna be close to 30 miles. That does concern me a little bit. I'm crossing my fingers that it's gonna be cooler because if it's not in the 80s, it's gonna be a lot different. My long weekends now are 6 to 7 miles. I did some research and I talked to some people online who've done this before and I'm gonna make some adjustments. There's some heavy recommendation to say carry at least half a Cliff Bar with me to eat around mile 16 to really give me the extra calories I need for that last part of the run. Currently I ate a lot of goo and I don't plan to change that. I plan on adding the Cliff Bar in addition because I burn a lot of calories when I'm doing this run. The other thing I'm gonna do on these long runs to test it out is I'm gonna do 30-30 splits. So 30 seconds running, 30 seconds walking. A lot of people who do 60-30, which is what I do, said during the marathon they had to change to 30-30s just to get through it all. So I'm gonna give those a try on the 6 and 7 miles, see how it goes, and I'll most likely try to adjust that out on the race. And then I'm just gonna rely on the adrenaline and push through. Make sure to check out my last in-person race, which was Disney Wine and Dine right here.